Computer programming skills are seen by many as a way to earn a decent income. For Afia Owusu Forfie, founder and executive director of Coders Who Travel, it is empowering young people with computer or mathematical programming skills to meet the global demand for software developers. Africa 54 Technology Correspondent Paul Ndiho recently spoke with Owusu Forfie in the U.S. state of Virginia.
Afia Owusu Forfie, welcome to Africa 54.
Thank you for having me.
You have inspired so many young people across Africa, in Ghana especially, where you have trained hundreds of people to code. How did this all come about?
I was a senior programmer at a think tank called Mathematical Policy Research around August 2014. And one of my colleagues invited me to a meetup event called for data scientists. And later when I returned home, the meetup app recommended an organization called Women Who Code to me. So as a woman who was coding that time, I was very interested. So I took a trip to one of their libraries in DC and saw a group of women helping each other and teaching each other how to code. And immediately I had a reaction to it because I just wished I had something similar when I was growing up in Ghana. And so I called the organization and they told me that there was no branch in Ghana. And so I decided to self-finance that network so Ghana could have that chapter.
Let's talk more about the organization that you founded, where you are empowering these young people. Are you only targeting women, or you're targeting every single person who wants to learn how to code?
We are targeting about 65% women and 35% men, because from the experiences of the prior organization, I realized that the women were bringing their friends who were men who were also in need of the same skill set. And so in Coders Who Travel, we've made it unisex. So we always call them a few good men are always welcome in our programs.
When you interact with these young women, young men that you're trying to empower with these computer skills or technical skills, what are their stories? What do they tell you? How do they want to change the world?
That's a great question. I think initially, let's say the women, one tells me that it's critical that she gets support at home. And so we've seen, even at our events, sometimes a husband showing up with the toddler to allow the women to, participate in our programs. I've also seen women tell me, reach out to me and say, I want a recommendation letter to prestigious organizations like the World Bank. Some are graduate schools at top universities. And so through that, I know that our programs are, at the very least, giving confidence and empowerment for people to want to do good in the world.
The programs that you do for these young people, are they geared towards the people who are already experienced or beginners?
It's beginners and intermediate people, because we believe that an expert can make a difference in the life of a beginner and someone who is at the intermediate level.
You talked about, for example, artificial intelligence, Python, and other coding languages that you are currently engaged in or helping young people to learn those skills. Can you speak more to that?
I would choose SAS because that's my domain. We just partnered with Coursera to release 5 courses in the domain of SAS, and I led it. I created the concept, I recorded the videos, but I delegated to about 5 individuals.
I've learned a lot of things on Coursera. I just go there just to empower myself.
And I use Coursera too, so it's good to know. There's no way you can survive the workplace if you don't leverage, MOOCs like Coursera,
What's the name of the course?
So we have Learning SAS, History, and SAS Studio, which talks about the history of SAS and introduces you to the free version of SAS called SAS Studio.
What has surprised you the most doing this program?
I think there's not nearly enough funding to fund great ideas like these as much as I would see. Most of it has been self-financed and also backed by handful donations. And so that has surprised me that I'm in tech, I'm a woman, and funding doors haven't opened nearly as much for us to scale, the vision that we have.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
That was Africa 54 Technology Correspondent Paul Ndiho speaking with Afia Owusu Forfie, founder and executive director of Coders Who Travel.